You must be thinking, is she really making a holiday video in the beginning of November? Yes, but it's not what you think. This video is about how to budget for the holidays yet this year in 2021, either for Thanksgiving and or for the holidays in December that you celebrate. So in my opinion, we're right on time. Some might even argue that we're hitting this a little bit late, but I don't think so. I think that they're wrong. I think we're right on time because there is still more than enough time to budget and save for the holidays yet this year. And if you're finding this video after the holidays, the information that we're chatting about is going to stand the test of time and will continue to be a fantastic resource for budgeting for future holidays, even if it isn't 2021. For anyone new here, hi, what's up? I'm Janelle. This is Janelle Knows Money. I'm a compensation professional that's obsessed with getting you the job, getting you paid, and then figuring out what do we do with that money. Hit the subscribe button if that sounds interesting to you. I come out with new videos every week. So before we dive into how to save money for the holidays, I want to talk a little bit about how to budget for the season. If you are specifically here for a savings tip, go down to the description and use the timestamps to click to the savings tip you're most interested in hearing about. You can also check out my video in the upper right-hand corner about 10 things that you can do to save more money right now. It'll also be helpful. Anyways, back to budgeting. So what even is a budget? A budget is a plan that guides you in deciding how much money you're going to spend on a monthly basis, weekly basis. It's a little bit different depending on the time period in which you want to budget. A myth that I want to bust is that some folks think that budgeting is restrictive, but for me, to me personally, with my money mindset, that couldn't be further from the truth. To me, budgeting creates more space in your life to buy whatever it is that you please. So for our holiday budget, we'll be budgeting so that we can purchase any combination of the following items without, did you hear me? Without feeling guilty. So this might include decorations, holiday activities, presents, and food for your family and or guests. You might have other things within your holiday budget that mean a lot to you that I might not have listed here, and that is perfect. For example, when I budget this year, I'm going to even break down my presents category even further. I'm going to determine how much money that I'm specifically going to spend on my partner, on my parents, my brother, my friends, and of course my kittens. So I challenge you to grab a piece of paper and write down all of the things that you're going to need to pay for this holiday season. I also want you to write down all of the folks that you want to purchase presents for, along with an estimated dollar amount per person that you'd like to spend. So it'll look something like this. I'm going to spend $25 on my sibling. I'm going to spend $50 on my parents, $10 on my kittens, $50 for food, and $50 for decorations. This equals $185. Now I know how much money I need to set aside for presents, even if I don't know specifically what I'm buying for each one of these individuals yet. If you do know what you're purchasing for somebody else, that's even better. You can specifically write down the cost of the item that you're buying for them next to their name, and you can budget for that very specifically. So what we're doing when we're writing down all of the people that we'd like to budget for, as well as the money that we'd like to allocate to each person, is essentially creating a sinking fund, which is a special savings account where we put funds that we need for a specific event or a specific item. In this case, we will create a holiday sinking fund. You can keep this sinking fund in your regular savings account and track how much money you have allocated towards that sinking fund in an Excel document, or you can open a new savings account through your bank, specifically label it holiday sinking fund, and anytime you save money specifically for the holidays for presents, decorations, food, etc., you transfer money from your savings account into your holiday sinking fund. I personally prefer to have separate accounts. It allows me to better visualize where I'm at in my savings journey for the holidays and gives me the motivation to transfer additional money from my savings into my holiday fund. Now that we've talked about budgeting strategies and tips for the holidays, let's dive into tips and tricks for saving for the holidays, aka how we're going to get money into that sinking fund. So my first tip for saving additional money for the holidays is to set aside a specific amount of money every single week leading up to the holidays at the end of November, at the end of December, whenever you celebrate, and transferring that money from your savings account into your sinking account every single week. If you're thinking, my budget is already so tight, how am I supposed to do that? Then I want you to go to your bank statement and your credit card bill and look at what money you spent over the last week. Look at the items that aren't 100% necessary, like perhaps this is going to lunch or ordering out dinner, and perhaps hold off on doing those things as frequently until the end of the holidays so that you can put that extra money aside into your holiday sinking fund in order to afford presents for your loved ones instead of, something that's a little bit more instant gratification notification and ordering food out. This is a tried and true way to save additional money for the holidays. Even if it's an additional $5 or $10 that you're putting aside every single week, anything will help. Speaking of credit card statements, my second tip is for those of you that have credit cards with cashback offers on them. This is how I solely fund my holiday sinking fund every single year. What I would do is I would hold on to any of the cash back that I earned from the beginning of the year in January through the time that the holidays started around November. And then in November, I would cash that money out and see how much I had in total. And then I would divide out and allocate where I was going to spend money for the holidays based off of how much cash back I earned. And then I would supplement with tip number 1 and save some additional money every single week if I felt like I needed more money. And depending on the credit card that you have, you could get a really nice cash back benefit. For example, I spend most of my money on food and entertainment, so I use the Capital One Saver card. And this isn't an ad, this is solely just to help you and give you an example of how I use my card. And the Saver One card is perfect for me because they have 3% cash value on any food or dining and any grocery stores. So whenever I'm doing any one of those things, I always put it on my Saver One card so that I can get as much cash back as possible so that I could then cash out and save during November for the holidays. If you are interested in this card, there is an affiliate link in the description box. You can check it out there if you're interested. That said, this is not financial advice and credit cards are not right for everybody. You're going to have to do what feels good and what fits for you and your savings goals and your plans. Just this is a really great option if you do already have a cashback credit card to reallocate and redistribute this money specifically towards holidays. It takes very little effort to just push this money into a sinking fund instead of spending it on a monthly, weekly, whatever basis. So all in all, if you do have a credit card with cash back, take a look at your statement, see if you have any cash back, and perhaps think about putting that money into your holiday sinking fund. The third holiday savings tip I have is to use a site like Rakuten and or a similar site to save any money on purchases that you make throughout the year or during the holiday season. This is something that I've been doing every single year since I started working. Before I purchase literally anything, I log on to Rakuten and I see if there's any type of discount by clicking through the app that I would receive as a cashback offer. If there is, again, I will click the link in Rakuten. It'll redirect me to the website that I'm looking to purchase something off of. I will make my purchase and then Rakuten will give me that cash back. Sometimes it's 1%, sometimes it's upwards of 5%, sometimes it's a dollar amount off, but I found that it is always worth it. And the benefit here is that this is completely free. It's not something you have to pay for, you just have to sign up. And again, there'll be a link in the description if that is something that you're interested in. I usually receive checks from Rakuten on a quarterly basis, so anytime I receive one of these checks, I deposit it into my savings account and directly transfer it into my holiday sinking fund. Again, it's completely free, so even if you don't want to use this to save for the holidays, it's something I still recommend signing up for. I think it would just be really helpful for you and your finances. So the fourth and final tip I have for you for saving some additional money for the holidays is to pick up a side hustle, and all of the money that you make from that side hustle would go towards your holiday fund, at least for the next 2 months as we're gearing up for the holidays. In my opinion, one of the easiest ways to save more money is to make more money. So if you do have a job that allows you to pick up some additional shifts, perhaps all of the money from your additional shifts go directly into your holiday fund. If that doesn't work for you, here are some additional options that might help you make some additional money to fund your holiday sinking fund. The first one is to pet sit with Rover. This is incredibly easy, an amazing service. You can do dog walking, you can do cat sitting, which really only means that you have to check on a cat for like 30 minutes at a time. You get to set your own prices, and it's again just super easy to sign up and get started. The second one is to be a delivery driver with Lyft and or a local establishment that needs some additional help delivering orders. You could also drive rideshare. Some folks recommend filling out surveys. It's something you could do on the side while you're watching TV or watching your kids. It might just be something that's super easy to try out. Another option would be to do some type of freelance work. Like if you're a copywriter, perhaps you're a recruiter and you do a little side consulting business where you offer your services to organizations in order to bring in candidates for them. You could also do graphic design. You could put some templates on Etsy. There really are so many options that are going to work specifically for you depending on what your strengths are and what you can sell to other people. And then the last one that I have as a quick option is you could take a look around your house, do a fall declutter or a declutter at any other time of the year. see the different items that you're not using anymore, bring them to a resale shop, sell them on Facebook Marketplace, eBay, really anything else, and then any of the money that you get from those sales, you could put it right into your holiday sinking fund. Again, if you're looking for some additional tips for saving for the holidays, I do have a video specifically on saving some additional money, so you could check that out. I linked it previously, but it'll also be down in the description. If there's anything you get from this video, I just want you to know that there's still enough time to budget and save for the holidays. And then now that you have these tools and skills and resources, you can budget far ahead of time for the next upcoming holiday. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, just so I know that you enjoy this content so I can make more. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to put them in the comments. You can also reach out to me on Instagram. I always respond there as well. And thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I truly appreciate it. Have a nice day.